Hello and welcome to the 7th devlog on SugarBlightNightmare, our 2.5D roguelike boomer shooter inspired by games like Call of Duty Zombies, Doom, and Hades. And this video is exciting for me because today we're going to be jumping into map design. We've been talking about map design for so long and we haven't really put anything into the game yet. So it's exciting to actually build out things and see how the game's actually supposed to look. In our 6th devlog, the one we released literally yesterday on the day of recording this, we were talking about the layout and we showed pictures of the rough draft, but now we actually built it and put rudimentary textures in. They might change. Some of them are going to stay extremely similar to how they look now, but they're going to have a little bit of a revamp. We showed a few like early map designs that we had in the past. Like if you go back to our first devlog, it looks so bad, and it's just funny seeing how much we've improved over time, and it's just cool to look back. I think I said the exact same line in my last video about map design like 3 videos ago when we first redesigned the map, and I was saying, oh, it looks so good, oh, it looks so much better than the last one, and now it's a level above that, which is kind of cool to see. A lot of the visuals and a lot of the feeling and essence of the map is based off of Pinterest boards and liminal space images on Google. Specifically this one and this one. They are very, very similar to the final product that we have, but also different, which is good that they're not exactly one-to-one, but you can see the inspiration. I had to kind of relearn Trench Broom because it's been a while since we used it. We used it when we made our first, like that green prototype map. We used it just to test it out, just to get a feel of it. We made a little prototype maze-like map, and we were like, yeah, this is cool. We'll use it soon. And that was like 3 months ago. So, you know, yeah. So since I had to relearn it while making this map, the process was actually kind of fun. It was like Lego a tiny bit and Minecraft a tiny bit, but a lot more annoying. It was still fun though. Like it wasn't that annoying. It was kind of tedious with like the hotkeys and trying to learn how to maneuver around the system, but other than that, it was pretty enjoyable. I kind of laid the camera flat on the top view and kind of traced over the original sketch that we made, but not physically traced over it because for some reason you can't import an image into Trench Broom to like reference it like you can in Blender. But I just had it on my second monitor and I kind of like eyeballed it, and I think it turned out pretty close and pretty good. And thankfully, when we made our green checkerboard map, we set up the textures folder and all that stuff, so getting the textures and putting them into the actual project was pretty easy because we didn't have to really do much. Like the process was already done months ago, and all I had to do was get the image that I want, save it to the textures folder, and bada bing bada boom, it's in the Trench Broom editor. Adding the textures was pretty fun too. I like the fact that I could choose which face it's supposed to be on and stuff. Like if you just do it from Godot, it'll wrap the entirety of the mesh in one texture. But in Trench Broom, you can pick what face of the brush, that's what they're called. So the squares and all that stuff, they're called brushes. You can pick what face of the brush you want a certain texture to be on, which I think is very helpful for like things like the bookshelf in the library and things like that, or like the vending machines that we're gonna have. Like that'll be very helpful for stuff like that moving on in the future. We're gonna go a little bit more into the textures, but that'll be on Aqua's part of the video because he's the one that was mainly drawing the textures. I just kind of touched them up when he sent them to me, and I put them on the actual level. After compiling everything, exporting it, and bringing it into Godot, at first it was cool, like it worked, but then we noticed some things were off. Like we would go in there and the floor would be uneven, or we would go around and some parts would just be exposed or crooked or just not where they're supposed to be. So it took a lot of back and forth from editor to Trench Broom to Godot, editor, Trench Broom, Godot, back and forth, and that was pretty tedious. And also Aqua was drawing the textures on a laptop, so he was struggling as well. So, but all in all, the process was worth it because we got a pretty cool result. And now the map feels a lot larger. It still feels a little small, but it's way better than the other map. And I think a part of that is the textures. Like, it might even be a little smaller, I don't know, but the fact that you can actually see that everything is different and the layout is just better because there's bigger areas in each part of the map and not just one big area and then a maze, big box, basically like the last one was.
And on that note, coming off of the map section, let's talk more about the art, because we did talk about some of the sprites we had and how we didn't like them. So let's talk about how we fixed that. Now, while the sprites we drew are quite simple, I will say that I was drawing them on a laptop. It was exceedingly hot on a drawing tablet that for some reason was acting up a little bit. So it was the equivalent of walking on eggshells. You try to draw a line, it goes off the wrong direction. It wasn't fun. But what I can say is it did end up coming out decently at least, and I think they will be good for the purposes they're serving right now. We are not completely finished with it. I'll probably include the finished art somewhere here. That's what it's going to look like. Things we've already drawn include the carpets, the ceilings, the walls. We also got the lockers in, and as of right now, doors. Well, all that's good. I cannot lie to you. We kind of don't have anything else that makes this look like a school. We don't have desks, we don't got no chairs, we don't even have a whiteboard inside of the classrooms to signify that instruction goes on there. We also need to add on to the cafeteria and the gym because they're just kind of empty spaces, and you know, neither of those areas look like that. And besides from just like cosmetic stuff, there's also some gameplay related stuff we need to add in. Those gameplay things being vending machines, which is kind of complicated to talk about because it leads into another concept that we haven't really talked about, and those are your round long buffs. And your round long or run long buffs are kind of like the ones you get off of killing enemies in the level, but they're generally better and of course last the entire round, but more on that in another video. For now, I kind of want to discuss something else that has to do with the map, and that's going to be objectives, what gets you to the next section of the game. That being your spirit box. The spirit box is quite literally its namesake. It is a concept that comes from Call of Duty Zombies. You basically build a box, you kill enemies inside the box so you get a certain amount of enemy kills, and it advances the story and or the Easter egg, if that's how you want to refer to it. But to start the spirit box, instead of just being able to place it any way you want to, because that'd be kind of cheese, just to magically place it in the corner somewhere and now you just can't die. But we're going to have it be in an optimal place where you have to place it, and that's the only way you can start it. It's going to be visually distinct so that you know that's where you place it, but you won't know it's that until you have the spirit box.
And that'll be the end of this video. We tried a bit of a different style on this one, just to switch things up a bit, see what you guys like, see what you don't like. So leave a comment down below if this video feels better or worse. We really do appreciate your comments because they help us with the algorithm. And thank you so much for 43 subscribers. That's a lot of people. We're gonna try to get these videos out a little faster than we usually do. This video is kind of like our first attempt at that. See how it goes. And our next video should be, you know, a bit more about decorating the area that we made in this video. So we're going to be putting the chairs and the desks, the whiteboards, the stuff that's supposed to go on the walls, you know, all of that. Just filling the place out, making it feel more alive, because right now it's literally just an empty building. As of recording this video, I'm working on like the light fixtures and stuff, and I'm also working on putting the vending machines actually in the building. Their functionality isn't a thing yet, but that's gonna be a thing soon. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.